on the best-selling novel. The Kissing Booth follows a quirky teenage girl and her romance with a high school hottie and bad boy. And now in the sequel, we see what happens with Elle and Noah as he heads off to college where new friends and new obstacles await. Take a look.
Oh my gosh. Wait, no, is this Elle?
Yeah.
I have heard so much about you. Seriously, my God, you're gorgeous. You're gorgeous. I love her already. It's too bad this one here is so ugly though, isn't it? But he does do as he's told, so I keep him around.
I bet you do.
And Maisie Richardson-Sellers joins me now. Hey!
Hey, so good to see you.
So good to see you too. How are you doing with everything that's going on in the world right now?
Good. I've tried to use it as much as possible as a bit of a creative nest.
Because you have your own production company now, right?
Yes. So we're launching it this year. It's called Bareface Productions, and it focuses on telling stories about marginalized communities and LGBTQ plus individuals, with them involved at every stage of the creative process.
Oh, I love that. Well, let's talk about this Kissing Booth movie. This movie, part 2, debuted at #1 on Netflix. The Kissing Booth, the first movie, is the most watched, if I'm not mistaken, the most watched movie on Netflix. And I'm sure the sequel is soon to be just as much watched as well. Why do you think people love these stories? I know it's based on books, but that they love these movies so much.
I think it's a twofold. I think it really appeals to that kind of nostalgic feeling that we all have, right? Like it's a kind of pays homage to the old rom-com high school genres that we used to have. It has that flavor, and yet it's completely modern, and it celebrates the quirky and the weird, and they're not conventional heroes. I just feel good after watching it.
No, I agree. I did a deep dive and binged both movies back to back, and it was just a feel-good experience. And you play Chloe. Tell us who Chloe is.
So Chloe she's this kind of vivacious, passionate, very intelligent, worldly woman who Noah befriends at Harvard. And they instantly become super close. And unfortunately, Elle gets a little bit suspicious of what that friendship is. But you have to watch it to know if it's true or not. And then the third one, which is coming out early next year.
I know. I already
exciting.
Look for that.
Yeah. So we see even more of that relationship, which is really exciting.
But I wonder how much fun you had playing Chloe, because I love how smart she is. Yeah. I love how beautiful she is. I love how she owns herself, like she can hang with the boys.
She's a kind of social chameleon in a way, but still so independent and so, opinionated in her own way. So it was really fun to play.
On top of that, she's quite the pool player. Do you know how to play pool as well as she does? Making shots without even looking?
It's so funny because it's been like a childhood dream of mine. I was asking for extra sessions. I was training like 4 or 5 times a week, and we just had so much fun. So I did all the shots.
I love that's you making those actual shots. Are you kidding me? All right, well, let's switch gears and talk about DC's Legends of Tomorrow. Fans were sad to see you leave, but I mean, in that world, there really is no goodbye, right?
Exactly. I keep calling the writers, and I'm like, just if you ever need Amaya or Charlie, just know I'll be there. Working with those creatives, they care so much about the stories and about keeping everyone happy and just keeping it genuine. And, they've done, huge progress in representation from the first season to the last season. So it was heartbreaking to leave, but it just, with the schedule, I had to make a call to be able to focus on my production company, and it was that, it just came down to that.
Do you ever think about doing anything else at some point?
Yeah. In my life, yeah. So I wanted to, for a while, I studied anthropology and archaeology at Oxford, and I thought I was going to become a human rights lawyer and or work with the UN and be an anthropology documentary filmmaker or sort of advisor. And then I got literally swept into this world. And I still, every year, I'm like, wait, should I go back? Should I go and continue? But,
well, I think you get your activism on with Shethority. Tell us what that is.
So Shethority, when we're in this DC world, which is quite a male-dominated world of the sort of superheroes, and we found that there wasn't enough space to have conversation as women and female-identifying people to really talk about what was bothering us, what was inspiring us, all these different things. We were just sort of going through everything alone. The whole idea of Shethority is reclaiming her authority over herself.
I love that. Well, if you weren't busy enough, you mentioned Bareface, your production company. And one of the first projects is Sunday's Child, a film you co-wrote and directed. What can you tell us about it?
It's a special one for me. It follows a young queer biracial woman over the course of one day of her life. She's struggling with self-acceptance and with isolation, and you follow her as she discovers this vibrant QT POC space where she's just seen and accepted for exactly who she is. And we did it with 90% female crew, 90% crew of color. So that created a really great working environment as well to create in.
Yeah, it sounds incredible. I'm so happy that you have this production company because I think your voice is so necessary. Your perspective is so necessary. And you can catch The Kissing Booth 2 now streaming on Netflix, and stand by for The Kissing Booth 3, which you'll also be in, right?
Yeah, so excited.
I know. Thank you.